Hey fam, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome in. My online handle is Minimac. My government name is Ashley. You can call me whatever you like. Today I really wanted to share a message about gratitude and faith with you. Without getting into too much personal detail, this is coming from a recent event that happened in my life that came very close to rendering me homeless. And I'm okay now. Everything's been sorted out and it's been fine. But through this process, I was taught some very valuable lessons in gratitude and keeping faith. Lessons I'd like to share with you today, share with my past self floating around out there. I'm sure there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. I will touch on the fact that prior to me nearly losing my home, I was doing a fair bit of complaining about the things that I didn't have, the things that I wanted. And I'm talking like not the health of my family or the happiness of my friends. I'm talking like I wanted money for junk food. I wanted more money to be able to drink and go out. I was acting, for lack of a better term, like a spoiled you-know-what. And it took this rattling of my cage for me to get grounded and get centered and recognize just how much I really do have. So it's important to not only practice gratitude to keep yourself grounded and keep yourself stable, it's also positive attracts positive. Good vibes attract good vibes and vice versa. Misery loves company, such and such. So I first and foremost would like to say that I am very thankful for this lesson, even though it was horrifying and terrible and terrifying. It was awful. What I received from grounding myself and meditating and centering myself through this process, I have to say was worth it because I needed a little bit of a wake-up call. So I am so very grateful for this lesson and this, check. I know sometimes when things are difficult or, you're going through something heartbreaking, it's difficult to see the positive. But I really, really urge you, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what's going on, I promise you, I guarantee you, you have multiple things to be grateful for. I'm sure there's lots of things that you're missing, things that you're wishing for, but you also have a lot to be grateful for. Health, first and foremost, your health, the health of your loved ones, and even if you are going through a battle where there is an ill loved one, your other loved ones are well. So you can be grateful for that. Wealth is mostly what I was complaining about because we can always want more, right? Like one's too many and a thousand's never enough. I am wealthy. It may not appear so to the naked eye, but in my mind, the fact that I have the ability to sit down and film this video, the fact that I have a platform to post it on, the fact that I have a roof over my head to do these things and access to internet and all that stuff, that's wealth. However you want to look at it, that's up to you. But I now see this as I'm wealthy. I have a very blessed life. Abundance and wealth, those things kind of tie hand in hand. What I'm doing is I'm going through wealth, health, abundance, and love, which is something I meditate on in the shower almost daily. I do meditate on it daily, but in the shower almost daily. It feels like a really grounding place for me. Underneath that water, just getting in touch with myself. I don't know if any of you ever sit in the shower, but I do. I sit and I pray and I meditate, and it's really beautiful. But my chants are wealth, health, abundance, and love. So that's what I'm going through here now. Love. Even if you don't have, the love of a romantic partner, or you don't have a ton of friends, There is somebody in your life who you love and who loves you back, even if it's just your mama or your child or whatever. There is love in this world, and the more love you give out, the more love you're going to get back. Your community, I'm certain there is someone in your community that cares about you, and you care about them and you appreciate them. There are resources in your community that you maybe haven't tapped into. There's always somebody there willing and wanting to help. You just have to reach out. I mean, like, the grass is always greener on the other side. There is always somebody who's going to have something that you want that you don't have. But there's also always something to be grateful for. So with my most recent experience, this has really shaken me to my core to even be thankful for every single meal I have, every time I wake up in the morning and I'm not in pain. Shifting your perspective is really, really the key to gratitude. It's not only going to make you appreciate what you have, but it's going to draw in more. Positive attracts positive. It's just how it works. Faith. Faith is can be a little bit of a struggle bus, especially when you have something pop up that could rip your whole world apart in the blink of an eye. It's really difficult to cling on to that faith. But what you really, really have to understand is that everything you need will be provided for you today. It may not be what you think you need. I didn't know that I needed a wake-up call to gratitude. I wanted more, I wanted more, I wanted more. Smack, just about to lose everything. I needed this lesson. I needed this wake-up call. So whether you want to admit it or not, if there's something you're struggling with, something that's gone awry, everything you need will be provided for you today. And if you think back, people say, oh, everything has a way of working itself out. It really does. It truly does. The more faith you have in this, the sooner it's going to happen. And it's never going to come the way you thought it was. You can't plan for it. You just have to have faith that everything you need will be provided for you today. And it's all going to come in divine timing, right? Sitting there, tapping your watch, going, when, that's only going to put it off. If you're presenting as if you're lacking something, then the universe is going to bounce that lack back to you. If you surrender and trust fall into the universe and know wholeheartedly they got your back, sky's the limit after that. But divine timing, it's not up to us when or how it happens. Just have faith that it'll happen when and how it needs to happen. With keeping the faith with something, it's important that you don't get too attached to a specific outcome. You may think that you know what's best for you, but you don't always actually know. Just have faith and trust that whatever outcome you receive is the outcome that you need in that moment. Maybe it's in the form of a lesson, maybe it's in the form of a blessing. Either way, just don't get attached to the outcome and don't get attached to the timing of the outcome. People throw the term brainwashing around, always in a negative context. Oh, they've been brainwashed. Oh, they're brainwashed. I am highly encouraging you to wash your brain. Brainwash yourself into wholeheartedly feeling and trusting the universe has got you. It's so important that you just have this unwavering faith. There is no room for doubt in this. There is no room for taking control in this. Surrender and trust the process. One of my favorite mantras is, "It is in the darkest skies that the stars are best seen." This is a saying I found I think like a couple decades ago now. And it's a saying that I've packed around with me for a couple of decades because it's so freaking true. It is in the darkest skies that the stars are best seen. So if you're in a dark moment, now is the time to practice gratitude as often and as deeply and as wholeheartedly as you possibly can. Gratitude, look for those stars in the darkness. You might have bad moments throughout this, whatever, spot of your journey that you're on. You might experience some rough patches, but you don't have to make an entire day a bad day because you had a bad moment. One bad thing happened. Sit with it, be upset with it, process it, digest it. Yes, feel your emotions, feel your upset, your angst, your anger, your anguish, whatever it may be. Feel it and then release it. Don't let an entire day be ruined and wasted. Time is such a precious gift. Don't waste it on all this negativity. There is always something to be grateful for. If you are struggling in finding a way of practicing gratitude or keeping the faith or keeping yourself in that mindset, I strongly recommend you look at the people you're surrounding yourself with, the type of music that you're listening to, the type of content that you're consuming. For myself, angry music, angry TV shows, angry people, they rub off on me. Angry vibrations rub off on me. So I'm pretty positive they're gonna rub off on you as well. I try to listen to very upbeat music, very motivational music. I try my absolute hardest to, at the very least, keep negative people at an arm's length. Some people you just can't cut out of your life. Some people have to be there. But how much you let them in and how much you let that negative energy they carry, that's completely up to you. And yeah, I have X'd quite a few people out of my life, especially in the last few years, simply because they're just Debbie Downer negative Nancy's, and I don't want that fucking shit around me. I don't want to hear it. Everybody vents to their friends, it happens, but you know the people I'm talking about, the people that really do have like a pretty nice life, and yet they're always finding something to be upset about. They're never practicing gratitude. They're always pointing the finger. Get those people out of your life because they're gonna rub off on you, I promise. Just as positive people will rub off on you. When I started getting more spiritual, 7 years ago or whatever it was, every year I've noticed more and more the things that once upon a time I thought only insane people would talk about, and crazy this and crazy that. Now I see those people walking around the world and I'm like, I remember 7 years ago when I thought the way that you're thinking right now. And you don't judge them or shame them or judge yourself or worry about any of that. Just keep those people at an arm's length, lead by example, and hope that eventually they clue in and wake up and come along. Maintaining that high vibrational energy is key to all of this though. And that's with everything in your life, everything you're doing, you're consuming, the people around you, your foods, the things you're putting in your body, everything adds up and it all matters. Frequently, I will use either a guided meditation or just a frequency meditation depending on what's going on with me. They have different, I believe it's 528 hertz for your heart chakra. Then there's a different hertz for your throat chakra, your third eye chakra. I often like to use the frequencies when I'm meditating in the shower, not the guided meditation. This is just my personal preference. But when I sit in the shower, I often have some kind of frequency music playing to help get me into that high vibe mindset. Lastly, if there's something that you're questioning, you know, whether or not, is this good for me? I can't really tell. I've been weighing the pros and the cons. Is it negative or is it positive? When in doubt, leave it out. If there's somebody in your life who you're like, well, yeah, you know, we do have fun together and we do have good times, but they do get angry really easily and like pretty often, and it's kind of triggering for me. But then, you know, they see it, and if you're arguing and wrestling back and forth about whether or not something is best for you, when in doubt, leave it out. This is something that I am relearning. I've already made videos along this line before, to a certain extent, not quite like this, but this is me relearning these lessons and resharing them in the hopes that we can practice this constantly and steadily. I promise you guys, I promise, if you are consistently practicing gratitude and consistently having faith, you'll shine. Everything will be fine. You will be provided with everything you need. Not everything you want, everything you need. You won't go without. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. I'm wishing you all peace, love, and light, and bye for now.